Okay, so have you ever had like this feeling, you know, that nagging sense that what we see, what we think is real, is just, I don't know, like the surface of something much, much bigger?
Hmm. Yeah, I think many people have those moments, like a glimpse behind the curtain.
Right, exactly. And sometimes those glimpses suggest, that there are levels to this reality, maybe even powerful groups aware of this hidden knowledge and keeping it under
Oh,
wraps.
absolutely. That idea has been around for ages. Secret societies, hidden agendas, all that.
And then you stumble upon something that really pushes those boundaries, like this message from the Ashtar command that popped up on Era of Light. We're diving into that today.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, wow, they're not holding back, talking about unseen entities, entire realms, all right here on Earth.
Yeah. And it focuses specifically on the oceans. It's not just some theoretical cosmic thing. This message says it's directly relevant to you, to understanding life on Earth and this whole mass awakening idea. It's like they're saying, hey, this is the key to a much deeper understanding of everything.
It's a bold claim for sure. And if you look at the context they lay out, it's about the last 26,000 years on Earth, which they suggest was a period of limited human awareness. It's heavily implying that certain powers have been holding back this knowledge.
Definitely. So let's unpack this. It was apparently channeled through someone named Neva Gabriel on March 29th, 2025. And the big reveal. What truly happens and what exists on our planet, especially in those deep, mysterious oceans. The message starts by talking about guardians of the seas, which is such an evocative term. What jumps out at you when you hear that? You?
We have to think about how we usually view marine life. This flips the script. We're not just talking about fish and whales as we know them, but beings described as guardians. Some benevolent, some not so much, all kind of overseen by this federation.
It definitely challenges our typical thinking. And here's where it gets really interesting. They specifically mention whales and dolphins as these joyful helpers, actively cleansing Earth's karma and sending new information into, get this, the planetary grid.
Yeah, the planetary grid is a fascinating concept. In metaphysical circles, it's this energetic network around Earth that holds and transmits information.
Right, so they're saying whales and dolphins are part of that. And get this, they're not just passively yipping. The message says once they're free from hunting, they'll directly instruct humanity. And hold on to your hats because whales are also called guardians of the Akasha, the Akashic records, like they hold Earth's entire history.
Whoa. It makes you think about all those stories of whale songs, their complex communication. Could there be more to it than we realize?
Maybe. The message even says those songs, along with dolphins, are like mantras, keeping Earth's database safe and sound. It really makes you reevaluate those majestic creatures, you
For
know?
sure. And it aligns with the respect that so many cultures have for them. It's like ancient wisdom may be tapped into something we're just starting to understand.
Okay, so then the message shifts to a being called Yamanja. Have you come across that name in your research, you?
Oh yeah, Yemanja is a big deal in Afro-diasporic religions, especially in Brazil and parts of Africa. She's often seen as the queen of the ocean, a powerful, nurturing figure.
Right. But here's where it takes a turn. Yamanja is described as this enlightened soul, a guardian of a realm beyond imagination, living in a crystal castle deep in the ocean. And get this, her main base is near the coast of Africa, but she can be present in all oceans at the same time.
It's playing with our idea of physical limitations, right? It suggests a different way of existing, like maybe consciousness or energy isn't bound by space and time in the way we think.
Yeah, very different way of thinking. And oh, she's not alone down there. Apparently, there's a whole legion of mermaids and mermen, princes and princesses of the seas, all emitting light from the ocean depths, working for peace and joy. It's like a scene straight out of a fairy tale.
Blending myth and, well, what this message claims is reality. And think about the idea of emitting light for peace. It's suggesting a conscious effort to influence the planet's energy from those depths.
It really is. The message then gets into more detail about this crystal kingdom. It describes it as a portal at a certain depth, leading to a waterless environment. Imagine that, you, a glass ceiling, showing the ocean above. And inside, radiant humanoid beings. Mermaids, mermen, and even part humanoid sea creatures. It's a vibrant, hidden world.
It's almost like a parallel ecosystem, existing right alongside our own but operating under different rules, if you believe this description.
And they confirm Poseidon, or Neptune, is down there too, just like in the old myths. They say he's a being of immense power. It's almost like our myths are echoes of an ancient connection we've lost.
It makes you wonder, right? Maybe those myths weren't just stories, but distorted memories of actual interactions.
Intriguing, right. And this crystal kingdom isn't just sitting there looking pretty. There's an energy exchange happening between Gaia, our Earth, and this realm. Gaia sends energy, it's received, and then sent back into the physical oceans. It's like this hidden realm is playing a crucial role in keeping the planet balanced.
It fits with ideas about unseen energies influencing our world. The idea that there are these realms working to maintain Earth's harmony.
And remember all those stories about sailors seeing mermaids? The message has an explanation for that too. It says many of those mermaids were actually mermen or mermaids in human avatars, experiencing life on land until they were called back by Yamanja. And for anyone listening who feels drawn to the water, it even suggests you might have been a sea being in a past life.
That's pretty wild, isn't it? The idea of taking on different forms, avatars, to experience different realities, it kind of explains why some people feel those deep connections to certain places or elements.
Absolutely. And this crystal kingdom isn't just limited to Earth's oceans. It's described as a portal to other aquatic realms in our galaxy, places like Sirius B and Delphinus. And apparently those connections were much stronger back in the time of Atlantis.
Atlantis always stirs up a lot of debate. This highly advanced civilization that understood things we can only dream of. Maybe they did have a connection to these other realms, and maybe it shifted to something more telepathic over time.
That's an interesting thought. And these beings have roles. The message says mermaid songs guide beings towards love and can even calm negativity. And mermen, carrying Poseidon's energy, provide security, divine power. They protect those who respect the ocean but are a threat to those who are, well, violently dishonest at sea. It's like a form of cosmic justice.
Like an energetic balance. You act in harmony, you're protected.
Yeah.
You act negatively, there are consequences.
Makes you think. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows down there. The message also mentions violent mermaids and mermen, disconnected from the crystal kingdom because of some past conflict, a buildup of dark forces.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even in these seemingly magical realms, conflict exists. Makes you wonder what happened, what led to that separation.
Definitely. And there's one last point about the crystal kingdom. The message says those beings can visit physical, spiritual centers on land. They leave their biological avatar in a crystal chamber and ascend in spirit, communicating through mediums to do purification work. It's interdimensional communication.
It really pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible. It's like a glimpse into these layers of reality that are usually hidden from us, and it relies on people who can tap into those higher frequencies, act as a bridge.
Okay, so that's the guardians of the seas and this amazing realm of Yamanja. But then the message throws another curveball. Leviathan. Now, that's a figure straight out of history and religion, isn't it?
Leviathan is all over ancient myths and religious texts. This powerful, chaotic sea serpent, sometimes a dragon, representing those primal, untamed forces of nature. Even the message lists the different ways it's described: a swift serpent, a twisting serpent, a dragon of the sea.
And then it says, and this is where it gets really wild, that science has already photographed it with satellites. And there's been concern recently. It paints a picture of a physical creature in the deep ocean, thinking it's the ruler, resisting positive influences. It's described as weakened over time and being watched by these intraterrestrials, the federated allies from inside Earth.
It would be a huge discovery if true, wouldn't it? Like a complete upending of marine biology. And satellite photos. That would be something to see. And then there's this whole other element, the intraterrestrials. It's bringing in a whole cosmic angle.
And it doesn't stop there. Apparently, Leviathan has an opponent. Are you ready for this? Godzilla. Yep, you heard right. The message calls Godzilla a great guardian of the seas and the frontline defender against Leviathan. It's like science fiction has jumped off the screen and into reality.
It makes you think about the role of science fiction, doesn't it? Like maybe it's preparing us for what's to come, planting those seeds. And the message even points out how sea creatures are often portrayed negatively, suggesting it's a way to keep us fearful, even as these more positive guardians are being revealed.
So what's the takeaway from all of this message from the Ashtar command with all these amazing claims?
Well, if you look at the bigger picture, it's about hope. It's saying that even with the mysteries and unknowns, especially in the oceans, there's way more love and harmony than we might think.
And remember, they call it an official message from the Ashtar command, and they say it's being delivered at unprecedented times when power structures are shifting. It sounds like they're saying this is all coming out now to get us ready for a big change.
A major transition, yeah. It's like they're trying to give us a heads up.
The message even quotes that, saying, against facts, there are no arguments. They're implying that once this knowledge is out there, it's going to lead to people questioning authority and forming new alliances based on truth, love, and justice.
A call for a new way of doing things, built on those positive principles.
And then it ends with this very dramatic image. It talks about these Federation fleets arriving in huge numbers, maybe even blocking out the sun. It's a pretty intense way to sign off, you know?
Leaves you thinking, that's for sure. Like something big is about to happen, something that could change everything.
So we've explored this incredible message from hidden oceanic realms to these beings who inhabit them, the guardians like whales and dolphins, the challenges from Leviathan and Godzilla as a defender. We've looked at the connections to our ancient myths and the whole idea of an awakening happening.
It's a lot to take in, you know? It really makes you question what you believe.
And that's what we want you to think about. After hearing all of this, where's the line between myth and reality for you now? How does it change the way you think about the oceans, those vast, unknown spaces? Are there forces at play we never even imagined? And if we consider the possibility of these hidden truths, what other beliefs might need a second look?
It's a deep dive, for
Yeah.
sure. One that leaves you with more questions than answers, but maybe that's the point.
Maybe it is you. Maybe it's the questions that lead to the most profound discoveries.